All right. So today I was just going to go over maximizing productivity. So what you're doing day to day to help build your business, get you towards your success, your vision, goals, everything. So understanding the importance of that is probably the most important thing that I did starting out as a company, and that I am also teaching other people to do, because without fundamentally focusing on what you should be doing every day and where you should be focusing your time and not focusing your time, that's the biggest thing that's going to get you momentum. So this is where you set yourself apart from all the competition. And for me, I personally know that if I'm not doing something productive, there's somebody else out there that's doing the exact same or the opposite of me. So they're very productive and they're actually moving ahead of me. So I have that in the back of my mind every day, and just focusing more on, is this a productive activity? Is it unproductive? And what do those need to be? So the most important task, and I'm going to be sending you guys all the workbooks too here right after we're done, but the most important task is start keeping track of where you're spending your time on the unproductive duties. So it could be, watching Netflix, scrolling through social, going to the bar, etc. And then what can we do to implement those time slots and bring in better business activities that can move you towards your goal? So for me, it was okay, I need to stop. I gave up all cable. I don't even have streaming service anymore. Well, I renovated my house, so it's hard to even do anyways. But for me, it was shifting that time into self-improvement. So I was watching a lot of podcasts, getting on stuff like this, reading books, reaching out to customers, emailing them, trying to upsell, cross-sell, do different things in my business so I wasn't so stressed out the next day. So that was just an easy thing that I did early on that just got me out of that rhythm of, is this helping me or hurting me? That's always in the back of my mind, right? So don't get me wrong. I mean, I still spend time with family is important. I mean, you have to do that. You have to have time to unwind. But what is that shift between very unproductive versus productive versus family? And you just have to balance that all out. And once you figure that out, that's when you can really start seeing the improvements. So think back again to what I was saying about what's everybody else doing at that exact same time. So like last night, I didn't even get home till 11:30. And right now it's busy season, Christmas lights, fall cleanups, everybody's trying to get everything done. But I was still meeting with customers. I was going and picking up product, because I know that as soon as the seasons end, then there's no more money to be made. So you're kind of like, you're trying to be as productive as possible, especially this time of year for everybody. And different parts of the US are, of course, different. But as soon as it snows here in Omaha, we don't make any more money with all of our landscapes, our irrigation, Christmas lights. Then we shift into snow, but that's not as productive of a consistent schedule. So just by listing out every day what you're doing unproductive, that you could add in something productive to help out. So once you've done that task, the next thing is to figure out, okay, when you're at work, list out all your daily duties and how much of a percentage of each day that's taking up. So once you do that, you can determine and create a new position for that. So for me, example, this was probably 8 years ago or so. I was spending all day out in the field, mowing, landscaping, fertilizing, irrigation, doing different things. And at the end of the day, I would come back, do the finances. So I'd send out all the billing, work on payroll, work on bookkeeping, estimates, designs. And I was there sometimes from 4 p.m. to midnight, just trying to get that stuff out and be ahead of the game, because I hated waiting on AR. I hated waiting on like just stacks of papers that I could be getting done. And at that time, I talked to a mentor of mine, and he's still a really good friend today, but he shed some good words on me that, okay, if you were to hire somebody to take on just those responsibilities, so what you're spending most of your day on, for me, it was like 40% of my day was financial. So if I could hire somebody just to do the finances for me, that frees up 40% of my day. And with that 40%, could I could I make phone calls, make sales calls, get new contracts to cover that person's salary? So I was scared to do that, because I couldn't imagine paying somebody a lot more money than what I was normally paying people, or even less, a little bit less. It could have been even the same as what I was paying myself just to be an office manager. or to do the bookkeeping side of stuff. So I was scared. I didn't know if I could do that. And then I was shocked at how quickly that those sales cover that person's salary. So it was probably within a month that that person's salary was already paid for. And the good thing about bringing somebody in at that point too, they brought new insights. They assisted in other duties when there's downtimes. They brought in a different perspective altogether. So they come with these new ideas that can help propel you to, the company goal for that year as well that I didn't even think about. So I do this probably monthly and even yearly. I will go through, where am I spending most of my time in my day? And sometimes, I did it today too. So where am I spending the most of my time in the day? Should I or can I hire or delegate that task to somebody else? So right now I'm still kind of managing different departments, still working on some estimates and helping people as well. But what out of the day can I find and bring somebody on board that can take on those duties? Because I've already done it. I can easily train them and build that new position up. And even thinking back before I had an office manager, it was, I'm spending most of my time running a mowing crew. Okay, so if this is 90% of my day, I need to get somebody in that can fulfill that while I go out and sell more customers on mowing. And then as soon as I filled that position, it was the same thing. Then you just duplicate, you find out what the process is. Okay, we already built this one. Let's do it again, as we continue to increase sales. And then shift that into fertilizing. I'll learn fertilizing. Okay, now it's taking up too much of my day. I need to hire, put a plan together of how to hire for that, put that person in place. So it's easy to scale once you do that and think of it that way, because once you just keep spending all your time doing one thing, you're not really working on the business anymore. You're just stuck in it. And then it's hard to get out. So you really have to just put down what is the most important thing, or what is the most time consuming thing, even though it's very important in your day, that you can start bringing somebody in, create a position, delegate, pass it off, and then keep doing this over and over. So, that's just something simple. You've got the unproductive exercise and then your production exercise. But by doing both of those all the time, then you can kind of break from mediocrity. And that also propels you to your vision, your goals, your success. Because I know the guys I've been talking to recently, if you want to have a $1 million company or a $10 million company or a $1 billion company, you're not going to be doing the exact same stuff right now that you're going to have at those levels. So what does that look like too? You can't be working in it all the time. You got to build those positions and figure out where you're focusing to be productive. So I'm going to send that workbook out to everybody. That'll help too, but just go through that, list it out. You can do it all the time as you grow to the next stage too. Then you can do it again. Okay, now I passed this off. Now where's my 40% or 50% or 60%? Because I passed off bookkeeping, I passed off financing, I passed off estimating, I passed off running product to guys. So now what am I focusing on? So it's going to continue to change and grow. And that's the fun part, because you've done all those things and you're starting to build an organization based off that.